Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. These are super delayed, but Virgo, this is technically your reading for May. So we're using the Golden Tarot, doing a 9-card spread, no oracle cards, because I was trying to do these quickly because I knew I didn't have a lot of time. And obviously I'm very behind. So Virgo, let's see what's up for y'all. Obviously, you know, readings aren't really timed. I say that even in my client readings, right? That you don't necessarily attach time to readings. That's not really how spirit works. So when you see it is when you're meant to see it. And I will be starting hopefully the June reading soon, but I'm just trying to finish up these last two for you and for Gemini, who will also get their birthday reading because again, everything's so late. So I see the Judgment card is coming up here, okay, just as I'm getting prepared to cut. So I feel like y'all have a choice or a decision to make. It feels like the universe is asking you, like, have you learned your lessons, or are you learning your lessons? Okay, so just keep that in mind, because it, you know, this could be related to karma, you know, related to this life, past life. You have the King of Coins, Virgo, so your energy, earth energy, with the Four of Swords and the Chariot. Hold on, I gotta adjust the camera super quick. Okay, because we just didn't have enough room there. The Chariot, Cancer energy. Some of you could be relocating or traveling soon. You have the Nine of Coins with the Empress and the High Priestess. I literally got like a very specific message off of that. It feels like it might apply to like just a handful of you, okay? You have the Page of Swords coming under here. It could be talking about some communication. Some of you may also be sort of like learning or studying something new. It doesn't have to be like going back to school in full. Could also involve an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And again, I am going to be filming Gemini just after this. So you have the 10 of Cups at the bottom. So this could be communication with someone about, you know, sort of taking a relationship to the next level. And that's what I was seeing in the middle row there. So let's get into it. I'm going to leave that I'm going to leave the 10 of Cups out like that because I just love that card. And this Page of Swords here at the bottom, like I was saying. So the King of Coins coming up here first. I feel like a lot of you could be focused on work or money, okay? Maybe you've been applying to new jobs, looking for new sort of opportunities, just trying to figure out how to grow your coin, whether we're talking about like literally your finances, or it could even just be about like growing your footprint, kind of like expanding in your role at work, or, you know, just trying to like sort of deep dive into your purpose and really figure that out and expand that. This may sound a bit counterintuitive, but the energy that I feel like you're being called in right now is this Four of Swords energy, right? Which is an energy of rest, right? You can see that the figure there is sleeping. So the Four of Swords always talks about rest, relaxation, introspection, meditation. I feel like for a lot of you, you're also in a period of healing. Perhaps you dealt with something, you know, some sort of heartbreak or loss recently. And so this is really saying, you know, take that time for yourself to really heal. And it's actually like through that rest, right? When your mind is really rested and peaceful and calm, that you're gonna get more clarity, I think, about, you know, directionally where to go sort of in your life. Again, especially for those of you for whom, you know, this may be talking about changes that you're trying to make in your work life or just in your finance life. As mentioned when I was putting the cards out with the Chariot card here, some of you may be traveling or relocating soon. It could be as soon as this month, okay, or like early next month. I'm seeing Cancer season, right, which we're just on the cusp of going into Cancer season. You know, in a couple of weeks, okay? So it could be coming up relatively quickly for you here. And the Chariot always does talk about fast movement. So even if you're not actually like getting up and physically relocating or traveling, you know, this is talking about some sort of metaphorical movement. Certainly it could be talking about in terms of your healing. It could also be talking about in terms of a connection, okay? And for some of you, perhaps this is talking about healing a connection as well. You have the Nine of Coins coming up next. So Nine of Coins always represents, for all intents and purposes, a single energy, okay? A non-married individual. Yet and still, right? Still your energy here, right? Falling there under the King of Coins and more Pentacles here, which is always Earth energy, right? Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo, such as yourself. Always very stable, abundant, very luxurious. It's really about sort of like, you know, let's just take the example, like if you are single, okay, because it could be if you are, if you aren't. It's just talking about like your energy. So let's just take the example of if you are single and you're looking for, you know, that lifetime partner, or you want to take your relationship to the next stage. This is saying really embrace the present moment, your current state. Where can you find sort of solace and gratitude in the present moment, you know, before you try to bring or call in something or someone new, or before you try to, you know, make changes in your life, right? Again, whether we're talking about changes around work, changes in your home, or even changes in a connection, okay? Now, the story that I was getting, because the Nine of Coins in the tarot is often known as the pre-Empress card, and you can see that the very next card coming up in the heart of your reading is the Empress. So for some of you, I do feel like this is very specifically about, you know, going again, for all intents and purposes, from a single state to a married or a partnered state, right? Because we know that the Empress and the Emperor are always a pair, right? Even if they show up singularly in the reading, the sort of presumption is that the other side of that is there or soon will be, okay? So for a lot of you, I do think that this is about, you know, sort of moving in the direction of partnership, perhaps marriage, and like moving into a state of where you feel like you can really sort of grow your family and your home. Now, for some of you, this may be, you see a baby here on this card, so it could be that kind of message as well. But it could also be talking about like metaphorically, right? Let's say maybe that this King of Coins, okay, is you thinking about how to sort of become your own boss, how to start your own business. So this Empress card would be saying, you know, think abundantly, think expansively, as well as thinking creatively, okay? And it can also, you know, the Empress as represents in terms of signs Libra and or Taurus, okay? So if you're dealing with either of those signs, you may want to go check out those readings which were already done, okay? The next card you have is the High Priestess. So especially, I think, if it's, I'm kind of feeling this in two ways, right? Whether this is about changes you're making in work or business, changes you're making, you know, in terms of moving or traveling, changes you may be making in terms of a relationship. I feel like you have a very clear vision, or you will get there, right, with the Four of Swords. You will have, or have already, a clear vision of what it is that you want to do. So now with this High Priestess card, you know, the High Priestess is a planner, right? Very intuitive energy, right? Really listening to those messages from spirit, whether it's through your dreams, as I always say, write your dreams down if you remember them, or just, you know, through your thoughts, your feelings. Perhaps some of you have really been like deep diving into your spiritual practices, so whatever may come up through meditation or journaling, okay? So really sort of taking all of that and downloading it and really digesting it and processing it, and then putting a plan in place to attack it, right? Putting an actionable plan into place in order to get to where it is you're trying to go. So the other energy I'm getting with this High Priestess, however, is that you're kind of keeping things to yourself, right? It's almost like you're keeping everyone on sort of a need to know basis. And I think that's wise, because it's almost like you're protecting your manifestations, okay? You have the Two of Wands here, and like I've said almost in every other reading for these readings for the month of May, which I know we're not in May anymore. Everyone's in a decision-making mode, and we saw that with the Judgment card coming up, okay, before we laid the cards out. So I'm seeing that here again with the Two of Wands. Now, for some of you, I'm getting that this is, again, a more tangible decision. Changing work, changing home, that kind of thing. For others of you, I feel like this is about sort of your energy, the way that you kind of operate through the world. And I feel like you're being asked to close out an old way of being or thinking and moving and stepping into a new way of being and thinking, something that feels a lot more free and a lot lighter. Okay, maybe this is about sort of, you know, I feel like a lot of this is like self-imposed. It doesn't really feel like it's coming from outside of you. So it's maybe just like your own thoughts, okay, or your own sort of subconscious, you know, that kind of like gets to you and can maybe even, you know, serve to sort of self-sabotage you in the past. But again, I feel like you're being called and asked, especially again with that Judgment card, to really step into a new way of being, so that you don't have to take on that heaviness, okay, from the past. The Six of Wands here, beautiful energy. This is talking about success, okay? And again, I feel like whatever changes you may be making, again, whether it's work, home, interpersonal relationships, there is success on the horizon. For a lot of you, this could be talking about a fire sign as well, an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. So if you are connecting with those signs, again, do check out those readings as well. And your final card here is the Hangman, right? Which I always say, seeing the Hangman or the Hermit, which we don't see, but it is Virgo energy during Mercury retrograde, which we are still in, is always a really good sign for me. It's very analogous to that Four of Swords energy in terms of taking a step back, you know, looking at the big picture, introspecting, reviewing your plans, right, with this High Priestess card out here, and just not really, you know, not making any fast sort of moves or decisions, albeit again for some of you, you may be sort of moving or traveling in the near term. Okay, now if that's going to happen during Mercury retrograde, the only thing to keep in mind, you know, because Mercury rules communication, technology, transportation, is just be flexible with your plans, because as we know, Mercury retrograde can just, you know, things can change really quickly, a wrench can sort of be thrown into your plan. So again, just be able to sort of go with the flow as best you can. Remember to connect with your breath. I don't know why I was called to remind you of that, Virgos specifically. It's almost like maybe some of you watching this right at that moment were like holding your breath, okay? So Virgos, as always, if the reading resonates, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. You can also book a personal reading with me on my website. Follow me on social media, subscribe to the newsletter. There will be a new one going out later this week, hopefully. And thank you so much for watching. I hope this reading helps and resonates, and I look forward to seeing you on the next reading. Bye.